Hello and welcome to this 1.17 snapshots video. Well, actually today we're in pre-release 1, so not quite snapshots. Looking at the new blocks and what other blocks go well with them. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and look at all, well, disclaimer, I may have missed some blocks, but look at all of the new lovely blocks that we have, and retextured ones as well. I'm not going to cover all of them. I've not done the ores, and I've kind of lumped some of the deep slate ones, etc. together. So let's go through and see what I've come up with. These are the deep slate blocks, and as I said, I've kind of, because these ones are a bit lighter, they've got the same tones in, and these are a bit darker, I've kind of lumped them together. The deep slate will kind of work with the same as, I'm just going to have to pick them, the cobbled deep slate. And then I've got the polished deep slate and the deep slate bricks here. So because this is very similar to these, then anything that works with the deep slate bricks will work with these three as well. I hope that made sense. Okay, so we're going to go on to the deep slate. So obviously got like a grey, light grey and dark grey in there. So we've got light grey concrete, wool, stone goes really well with it, with the light colour in here, and andesite as well. That goes really quite well because it's got a bit of a bluish tinge in there. And then same goes with the cobbled deep slate. The basalt goes just at a pinch. It's got a slight purple in it, but I think that the polished basalt and the basalt will go with both of these blocks. Then we're going on to the polished deep slate, which is a little bit darker, so it's not got these light tones in it. And I've got this with grey concrete, cyan terracotta, and the basalt again. And I've also got these with the cyan terracotta. Is that? Oh yeah, they're the same block with the stone bricks. And then I really like the fact that we've got some more stone bricks. So as a contrast, I know there is quite a contrast, and in this I'm kind of going for colours that are quite similar in the same colour palette. But I do quite like that we've got some more bricks as well, so you could mix it with the stone bricks, say at the bottom of a building or something. Coming on to calcite. I know lots of people hate diorite, but I think this might be my new favourite diorite. I don't mind diorite, but I like that this is a lot softer and a lot cleaner, more white. So it does actually go with the diorite. I think you could possibly mix it for a good path. Maybe goes better with the polished diorite a little bit more, the colours, because they're a bit more muted. At a push we'll go with the iron block, but it is a little bit yellow in the calcite, and I think it probably goes with the birch as well, even though the birch is slightly pinky. It does go better with the snow and the white concrete powder and the white wool, because obviously they're all a fresh, clean look. Now I'm not sure whether I tried it with white concrete. It would go with white concrete, but it does, white concrete's not very white, so, or not very light, so it might dirty it down a little bit, but the grey tones in that do go with it. And then we're moving on to tough, which I didn't think was called tough anymore, but anyway, shows what I know. Then I've got this with the grey concrete powder. I think the little blue colours go really well with the blues in here. Light blue terracotta and blue terracotta. They kind of go with it but complement and contrast. And then going with the greys in here, I've got grey concrete and the light grey concrete. I think it just about works with andesite. We've got again the bluey purpley colours in here, so you might just get away with that. And then cyan terracotta, grey concrete, that's the grey wool, and light grey wool as well. I think the light grey wool goes really quite well. It's like tonally it's not that much lighter. Moving on to the Dripstone block. I really quite like the colours in this, but there's not actually a lot that will go with it. I've only got 4 here. So there's the brown mushroom block, white terracotta, which we all know is not white, it's like a pinky colour, light grey terracotta, and the brown terracotta as well. And this is rooted dirt, which is really interesting because it's got a little bit of a greyish cyanish colour in here. But for these, again, I've gone for the brown mushroom. We've got brown concrete, white terracotta, and brown concrete powder. I think that would look quite good for a path, having the dirt and the brown dirt and the concrete powder. Which also just reminds me, I didn't actually try it with dirt, and it does go. Coarse dirt, sorry. Didn't actually try it with coarse dirt, and it does go, and with the dirt as well. So you could mix it in a path like that with the coarse dirt, and obviously if you didn't have any grass around, you could mix it in with the dirt. Anyway, moving back to the rooted dirt, I've put this with granite, polished granite, because it's got a pinky colour in it, and I think you could just about get away with it. Brown wool. Oh, I've done brown mushroom stem twice here. Oh well. Brown mushroom, sorry. Jungle planks, because they've got like a pinky colour, and then as a contrast, picking up in this greyish cyan colour, there's cyan terracotta and grey concrete powder as well. Block of raw iron. Now I'm not sure where this is going to spawn, etc. in survival, but I saw the block and I had to use it. So there are only a few that I think would go with this, because this is like an olive green and we don't really have that many of those tones in the palette. But I've got white terracotta, light grey terracotta, and this is actually the Dripstone block. That, because I haven't, in all of these colour palettes, I haven't actually used the new blocks with each other on most of them, but I think because that goes with the light grey terracotta, I think it possibly would go with, at a pinch, it would go with the raw copper. So for example, path, you could probably do a pathway like this using all of those blocks. Now this is the block of raw copper, and this is interesting obviously because it's got the greens and the orangey reddish colours in it. So here I've got it with a prismarine block, green concrete, green terracotta. The warped wood just at a pinch because it's got a slightly the same, that those pixels are the same colour, so I think that would probably work. And the dark prismarine looks quite good with it. And then going in with the reddish tones, there's red terracotta, orange terracotta, acacia, brown wool, brown concrete, and then terracotta, which I added up there, and then I came back and I thought, oh, actually, it would probably go with this. So yeah, I think just the terracotta would probably go, because that is a very similar colour to that. This is the block of raw gold. Again, I don't know where these are going to spawn, but in creative obviously you have them to hand. So obviously this is a yellow palette, so we've got yellow concrete powder, yellow wool, yellow terracotta, block of gold. Obviously they'll have taken the same type of colours from there. And then as a contrast for the brown, I've got brown concrete in there. Oh, this is nice. I love purple. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to use it. In a 1.17 snapshots world, I have used it as the floor of my enchanting room, just around the enchanting table. But again, not many. For me, liking purple, there aren't actually that many purple blocks. And the obsidian and the crying obsidian were just a bit too dark. I mean, they would go as a contrast, but like I say, I'm going for tones that fit in. So we've got purple concrete powder, purple wool, and this is actually the blue terracotta, which we know is like a purpley colour, isn't it? Waxed block of copper. Now I do really love these blocks, even though I'm not particularly an orange person, but it's a reddish orange, so it's not like orange in your face, bright orange. So again, I've put this obviously with a block of raw copper, because obviously the blocks will go together. We've got the acacia, orange terracotta, stripped acacia. I think just about the red terracotta goes with it. It's kind of in the same theme of colour. And then we've got terracotta, brown concrete, and I've put the brown mushroom block in, and because it's kind of this tone, but it might be too much of a contrast, that it might be a little bit, no, let's take that out. It's a little bit too green, I think. Oh, what was this? What was this? What was it? Waxed exposed copper. Apologies for all the blocks in my inventory, but it is just quicker just to click on it and remember what they are, especially with these ones. I can never remember whether they're concrete or terracotta or what. So in with the pinky themes, I've got just at a pinch netherrack, because it's kind of in the same colour family. White terracotta. We've got granite again, which is interesting because granite didn't used to go with that many blocks, but I think it will mix in better with these new ones. And then obviously we've got the raw granite there as well. And light grey terracotta I think works well because that is kind of that tone. The dark prismarine again, and the green, what did I decide it was? Green concrete as a contrast for the green colour in it. Waxed weathered copper. We are obviously getting more and more green here. One thing I will say as well is that I've just done these 4. Obviously the same will apply to the cut copper and in each category, because they are actually the same colours in them, albeit a different ratio. So back to the waxed weathered copper. Granite, polished granite, light grey terracotta. I've put this in. It is quite a contrast with the light and the dark, but I think that does go with it if you want a slight contrast. Green concrete, dark prismarine again. Again, we're seeing a lot of the same blocks. Now I've put the prismarine block in. From a distance, it's like a more of a bluey green than this, but it does kind of share this bit here. So if you wanted like a contrast that kind of went, I would go with that, but maybe not now looking at it. What goes better is lime terracotta, green terracotta, green concrete powder, and the green wool. And then I've put the cyan concrete in as well, because again this colour here is very similar, so it's like a bluey colour. So if you wanted like a contrast, like a tiled floor or something, that might look quite nice to mix those two. Waxed oxidized copper, again similar colour palette. We're just losing a bit of the pinky browny tones from here, so that's why it's all greens. Again, I've put the block of prismarine in because it shares similar tones. And then green concrete powder, green wool. Then going more into the cyan, because we've got greens and cyans in there. Cyan concrete, which tones a bit better with this one than it did with that one. It's kind of a contrast on that one. Cyan concrete powder. I've put the normal prismarine in. I think obviously because it changes colour and I haven't looked at all of the colours, I think this goes in. The purple might just contrast with it. I think that green goes in as well. Is it going to change? that was good. That is kind of the most bluish. It's the least one that goes with it, but I think you could probably, and again that would be a contrast, I think you could probably get away with it in places. I do think it's amazing how it changes in front of my eyes. How did they do that? Anyway, moving on. Warped wood and the dark prismarine again. And then thinking about the blocks which have the textures on the top, this is the nylium, the warped nylium, and I think this goes with it just about. You could quite make an interesting floor. Again, you could do like, because these look like tiles, you could do a tiled floor with the nylium, and I do like the way that it kind of looks like it's recessed. And then we are at the end, moss block. This is going to be lovely. All the greens. So we've got green concrete powder, green concrete, green wool, I think that's green terracotta, and lime terracotta. These colours just work so lovely together. You could make a really good grassy path out of these. And then, of course, just the grass. It's going to make the edge of hills just blend in if you don't have the textures that make it go all the way, although I'm not sure whether I like it going all the way down, but that's just me. And then the implications for the flooring as well, you can hide lighting under the moss carpets and that will blend in so much better than green carpets. Quite excited for that one, although we need them in slabs. But yeah, we can't have everything, can we? I hope you enjoyed that video about what blocks go with the new 1.17 blocks. A lot of blocks there. It's felt like I did a whistle-stop tour, but obviously don't want to linger too much on chattering about these because you want to get building in your new palettes. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more content like this, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye!